Okay, welcome back. We are in our last video here for Chapter 3, dealing with working with fractions and decimals and a little bit more measurement. This time we're going to talk a little bit about circumference. And circumference deals with circles. Because you're dealing with circles, it's not quite as easy as it is with a rectangle or a trapezoid, okay, or a triangle. It's circular. It's round. So we have to use a little bit of a different method for that. So one of the things we need to know about a circle is what a radius is. A radius is the distance from the center of the circle to the edge. Okay. Diameter is a little bit different than that. It is the distance across the circle which travels through the center. So, radius is typically referred to as r. Diameter is typically referred to as d, which is also 2 times the radius. So the diameter, in essence, is 2 radiuses put together. Okay? So circumference, which is usually by c, circumference is the distance around circle. So, in order for us to do that, we have to use something that's called pi because of the curvature nature of a circle. So typically, a circle is using pi, and we take 2 times the radius. Or, circumference is pi, again dealing with the curvature, times diameter. Because in essence, 2r and the diameter are the same thing. And while we're doing it, our calculations, pi, we can substitute pi for 3.14 when we're using our calculators. Alright? So let's take a look at an example here. So the radius of a circle is 12 feet. So I'm dealing with radius. So I'm going to use our first example here. So the circumference will be calculated by pi times 2 times the radius. So in this case, it's going to be pi times 2, and my radius is 12 feet. So I'm going to go 12 times 2 times pi, which is 3.14. Some of you are going to have pi on your calculators, and I suggest that you do not use that button, that you use 3.14. That way your answers will be closer to what I get. So I get 75.36 feet. Okay? Nice and easy. Second example here is using the diameter of a circle. This time it's 16 inches. But this time I'm using diameter. So therefore I'm going to use our circumference is pi times diameter. So in this case it's going to be 3.14 times the 16 inches. So 3.14 times 16 So 50.24 inches. Almost a quarter of an inch. Alright, this last one here, it's tricky, so pay attention. So medicine wheel. Let's say it looks like this. It looks like this. Okay, so the circumference of the inner circle is 28 meters. So I'm going to go circumference small is 28 meters. So that's this one inside. The circumference of the big circle on the outside, it's 85 meters. Okay, so that's the one on the outside here. So what we want to do is figure out what the length of a spoke is. So a spoke is going to go from here to here for a medicine wheel. So the radius, I need to figure out what the radius is of the small circle first. So I know my circumference is 28. The equation is pi times 2 times r. R is what I want to know. I want it all by itself. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2 times pi. So here, that 2 pi and that 2 pi cancel each other out. So I'm left with my radius. And 28 over pi times 2 will tell me what the radius of the small circle is. So 28. So let's do that. 3.14 times 2 is 6.28. So I'm going to take 28 divided by 6.28, and I get 4.4. So let's round it to 4.4. Now the big circle, I need to know what the radius is. So the big circle is going to be from here to here is what the radius will be. But I'll have to get rid of that part later. So basically I'm going to subtract, once I know the radius of the big circle, I'm going to subtract the 4.4. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. My circumference was 85. 2 times pi times my radius. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2 times pi. So my radius will be 85 over 2 times pi. So the radius of the big circle is 85 divided by 6.28. Because I know that 2 times 3.14 is 6.8. 6.28. Because 3.14 times 2 is 6.8. And we get, round it off again, 13.5. Alright, so the radius of the small circle right here is 4.4 meters. The radius of the big circle is 13.5 meters. I want to know the length of the spoke. And the spoke goes from here to there, that purple line. So the spoke is 13.5 minus 4.4, which gives me 9.1 meters. Okay, tough question, no doubt about it. So if you have any questions, put your hand out and we'll come around and try to explain it some more. Okay, but now it's your turn. So turn to your books on page 83 and 84. Let's do numbers 1 to 5. On page 85 is the design a room grid. Okay, you may need to use that for your term project. It's up to you. There's other things you can use out there. So if you find something that works better for you, feel free to use that. And then we got our test coming up soon. So in your book, do the chapter review. It's on page 86. And I would do all 7 questions. Okay? Keep up the good work. Again, don't forget to ask questions if you need help. Cheers, guys.